1963. A Malcolm X interview. Learn something about Islam. No, I'm not Islam. I'm not Muslim. I'm a follower of Jesus. But hey.
Today, in our discussion of minority groups, we have with us two guests. One is Minister Malcolm X. Shabazz, one of the top leaders of the Nation of Islam, or the so-called Black Muslims. And we also have Mr. Herman Blake, one of the teaching assistants in the course. We will discuss today some of the goals and some of the strategies of the Nation of Islam. And I wonder if Mr. Blake might start it off by asking Mr. Shabazz a question.
Minister Malcolm, the thing that I thought might be good for starting it off is to talk about one of the most pervasive beliefs in the general society about the Nation of Islam, and that is that it is an organization dedicated to the use of violent means to attain its goals. The question I have is, how true is this, and why do you think it persists in society?
Well, the Muslims who have accepted the religion of Islam and follow the religious guidance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad have never bombed any churches, have never murdered any little girls, as was done in Birmingham, have never lynched anybody, have never at any time been guilty of initiating any aggressive acts of violence during the entire 33 years or more that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been teaching us. The charge of violence against us actually stems from the guilt complex that exists in the conscious and subconscious minds of most white people in this country. They know that they've been violent in their brutality against Negroes, and they feel that someday the Negro is going to wake up and try and do unto them as they have do unto the whites as the whites have done unto us. We are a violent group. We are taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to obey the law, to respect everyone who respects us. We're taught to display courtesy, to be polite. But we're also taught that at any time, anyone in any way inflicts or seeks to inflict violence upon us, we are within our religious rights to retaliate in self-defense to the maximum degree of our ability. We never initiate any violence upon anyone, but if anyone attacks us, we reserve the right to defend ourselves. So to accuse us of being violent is like accusing a man who is being lynched, who is being hung on a tree, simply because he struggles vigorously against his lyncher. The victim is accused of violence, but the lyncher is never accused of violence. And I only point this out because the various racist groups that are set up in this country by whites and who have actually practiced violence against blacks for 400 years are never associated or identified or made synonymous with the term violence. But white...
We'll leave that one there. Because it will start to leave you. You'll start to wander from the certain facts of things. We weren't there. We can all agree, all of history is a lie. Yes, black people sold black people into slavery. Black people will admit that. They sold them to white people. So let's not get shit twisted. Black people sold black people to white people. And white people were cruel to those black people. And I don't think we can deny that. As far as us having the shame of white privilege? No, it's not cool. I don't feel any shame whatsoever. Nor should I, nor should you, if you have not inflicted anything upon anyone to hold any shame for. But just by judging from that. Now, at the end of my history here, to, if I can find it, a short that I saw earlier that actually goes well with it. Crikey. Yeah.
If someone would say, why are you reading this book? You're supposed to be anti-West. Who said? Who said we're anti-West? We're anti-evil behaviors, anti-oppression, anti-injustice. You said that means the West. If you're saying that's what you stand for as the West, okay, I won't argue with you, but my point is we're not anti-West. We're anti what you've done. We're anti what your culture has meant to most people around the world. I don't see that that's anti-West, unless that's what you stand for. But that's you. Yes. Now you're the one who's owning up to that. I didn't say that. Who said that we're anti-West and that we're not pro-us? We're not pro-Muslim. We're not pro-Islam. We're not pro-Ummah. We don't have to frame that as being anti-West. If you make yourself anti-us, then we'll be anti-you. But that's on you. That's from your initiative. Epistemological sovereignty doesn't mean, being on the attack necessarily, but we will engage with anything on our own terms. You have your epistemology, we have our epistemology. We have our understanding, you have your understanding. See, this is where we have a real distinction between them and us in our approach. They have the zero-sum mentality. They have there can only be one of us. The earth isn't big enough for two epistemologies. We don't have that. Okay, you don't follow ours. So we understand this about you. That's all that we ask. We understand this about you. We are not requiring you to follow ours, but we're also standing upon our right to follow ours and not be coerced into following yours. But you go ahead and follow yours, no problem. We just need that fixed in our mind that you're like that. Because we're Muslims and we believe in, to you your way, to us our way. We're not crazy people. Genocide isn't an option for us. It's not on the table. This is on the table for you guys. This is the way you think. This is not the way we think. It's not something that would occur to us that, oh, well, you're not like us, therefore annihilation. That's not how we think. This is how you think. Us being pro-Muslim and pro our own epistemology does not in any way whatsoever necessitate us being anti-you, anti-West. This is, again, your thinking. You're applying your epistemological thinking to our thinking, and it doesn't work. All we need to know is that you're a certain kind of way, and then we will calibrate our relationship with you accordingly. And we don't expect you to change. We're actually capable of letting you not change and living. This isn't something that you do. If we don't change, we must be annihilated. This is the way you do. As someone would...
That is Shahid Bolsen, a current day spokesman of Islam. A fairly large contrast between the two people you just saw and what you were told Islam is, what we've got running around in our country, isn't it? There is no radicalised Islam, there's just Islam. Just like there's no radicalised Christians. There's just Christians. But there's radicalised individuals, radicalised people. These people aren't here by accident, okay? These are radicalised people that are being invited into our country. This is why they've got to go. Not from being racist or because of religion, not because of faith, because of religion. Because of the religion of politics and the politics of religion. You need to learn to think a little bit deeper, a little bit outside of the box. You need to learn to discern and critically formulate the picture of what's really going on here. Destabilisation of our country on purpose, with method, for a purpose, for an end state. These are not radical people. First was Malcolm X from the 1960s, and Shahid Bolsen, who I watch quite a lot. Now, I'm not Muslim. I am not Islam by any means. I think that's pretty obvious, don't you? But I seem to have a damn sight more in common with Shahid Bolsen than I do with half of you Christians, because you're jellybacks, and you're running around beating people over the head with your religion instead of following Christ. You know, Jesus is in Islam as well. Yeah. And he is viewed as every bit as much respect as what Christians, real Christians, hold him. He's held just as important. It's time you stop being fools and stop listening to these talking heads. It's time you turned your back on the government. It's time that we stop letting their little game work. We're playing right into their hands. All the time. We're playing straight into their hands. As long as you keep fighting and arguing and keep getting yourselves more segregated, more divided, we're fragmented like shattered glass, we are. There was a time when you could not do that to Australia. I remember that time. Not that long ago. 30, 40 years ago? That's not a long time in the grand scheme of things. Oh, how far we have fallen in such a very short time. These are radicalised people. Pretty much hand-picked to destabilise our country. We're going to destroy ourselves and they're going to destroy themselves over us destroying each other. It's an ethnic cleansing, people. And they're letting us do it to ourselves. It's time to wake up, I'm telling you.